Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to North Penn Gym at North Penn High School, where today we got the 1-7 Truman Tigers up against the 6-4 North Penn Knights. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brian Clematis, alongside me, Kyle Berger. So, Kyle, what can we look for in a game tonight?
Well, Brian, you have a Truman team whose record is a bit deceiving. Granted, they're 1-7, but they are a solid team top to bottom. They don't have a single individual who will really stand out. In fact, they don't have anybody averaging double figures from the floor. They'll probably have 11, 10 guys scoring tonight. They run a very deep bench, so depth is a strength for Truman. What we'll see from the Tigers tonight on the defensive side of the ball is a very active full-court press and trapping defense. North Penn is going to have to break the press and score points in transition, which has been a bit of a problem for North Penn this year. We'll see what they can do tonight. North Penn coming into this game off of a holiday tournament, which we'll talk about a little bit more later, had an up-and-down sort of tournament, but finished on a high, so they do have a bit of a roll coming into this game.
All right. We know they had to break. North Penn did have the tournament. If you want to talk about that a little bit. They had a really hard-fought game against Allentown Central Catholic. They played a good first half. I don't know, why don't you explain a little bit more?
That tournament was over Christmas break, and they went up and played Allentown Central Catholic, who was the number 4 team in the state at AAA, which is the level of school below North Penn, who's Quad A. They played them probably the best half of basketball they played all season long. In the first half, we're actually up at halftime, and then Coach Fergus just said pretty much they had a disappointment in the second half and had a weak showing of a very lackluster effort in the second half and wound up losing to Central Catholic. They came back the next day, though, and picked up a win against Downingtown. That was a big win for North Penn because it's the next day, and it showed a lot of heart to come back and win like they did. And also, talking to Coach Fergus before tonight's game, he told me as far as Truman, they're a quick team. They boast a lot of speed. Not very big, but a very quick team. They're not going to be afraid to run with them. They'll go up and down the court all night with Truman. North Penn is they have a lot of stamina, and they'll run all night with the Tigers. So that's something you have to watch for.
This is North Penn's first game in the new year at home. They had a big, long road trip in December. They only had one game at home, 9 away. So Coach Fergus was talking about how it was great to be back home and how they could have the fans behind them. They boast 4 games this January in the new year, so we got more coming up.
Yeah, pretty much, Brian. They were the Road Warriors in December. 9 away games and 1 home game. That's got to be killer to start a season like that. And you know, North Penn comes away 6-4. They have a winning record. That shows a lot of character. And those games weren't exactly, going down to Norristown. They were going to Harrisburg. They were going up into District 11 to play Allentown Central Catholic. They were going to Council Rock, Neshaminy, 2 of the furthest teams away from North Penn in this league. So it wasn't your backyard brawls. It was pretty much all over the place in December.
Yeah, I can remember my days back in high school with the volleyball team traveling in Neshaminy. That's like 45 minutes to an hour riding on the bus and the cramped little seats that they have. But it does show a lot of character. 6-4 so far this season. We took a look back 2 years ago, 1997, with a Truman game back.
Yep, there it is. Try to neutralize 3-point shooting in North Penn. Let's go, but way to start it. Way to start it. That'll start it off 2-0 North at the line. 3-1 North Penn now. Jamison and McDonough on the near side. Here comes McDonough. Got it. 5-1. Converting and getting down the floor real quickly. Walker in the middle. Couldn't get it to go down. Tapped in. Number 24 John Jada rolls out back outside of Christopher. They're going to wait again. Outside to Hauser. Cuts the screen from Sterling. Got it. Way to do it. That's the way to 10 seconds left to play in the first quarter. North Penn looking to find a shot here. There's Jameson driving out. Mike McKenna for the open 3. Man. Money at the end. 1 second. That is it for the first quarter.
It's time to sit him down and give him a good talk. Ooh. There we go.
Nice play there.
100%. Mike Riley gets in the game.
Here's Jameson.
Great. Go on.
Over to Christopher. Inside the Huebner. Got it. What was that plan? What did you call for the plan?
I don't know. Too much for Truman to handle. North Penn just played their game of basketball, shot their 3s.
Like they were saying, North Penn played their game by shooting the threes from the outside. I was talking with Truman coach a little earlier. They want to try and downplay on the threes. Let's take a look at the starters. Number 10, Sean Frazier. Number 11, Trevor Smith. Number 24, Eric Kinsel. One of their hot shooters for Truman. number 41, Rob Hoover, and number 53, Dave Arrigo.
Eric Kinzel, Brian, he's a 5'10 junior guard. He has good range. And you know, we said nobody on Truman has really been the go-to guy, but if you had to single out one person, it would probably be Kinzel. So North Penn's going to have to match up well. You'll probably see Mike Jowder or Jay Joseph when he comes into the game later for North Penn, possibly even Justin Hughes guard up with him. Let's take a look at the North Penn starters.
For North Penn tonight, number 21, Ross Borneman. Number 22, Mike Jowder. Number 23, Clay Kucklick. Number 40, Andy Wimmer. And number 42, Justin Hughes.
Absent from the North Penn starting lineup, to those of you who follow this team, Jay Joseph, number 32. He had a bit of a vacation over winter break and kind of violated a team rule by missing a couple practices, and he's been not feeling 100% recently. He's battling a bit of a virus, so he's not going to start tonight, but Fergus told me that he's going to have some significant minutes. Another interesting note on that starting lineup for North Penn, Brian, and it's been this way the whole year. Mike Jowder is the only senior starting for North Penn. They have 4 juniors in the lineup. You know, you don't want to necessarily call them inexperienced, but truth be told, they are. But they have a lot of character, and they shoot the ball well, and they're a good fundamental team. So look for them to have a good game tonight against Truman.
All right. We got tip-off coming up next here on North Penn TV, Channel 16.
On the big highway of life, there's only one safe place for kids.
Backseat, baby.
The front seat's not the place to drop out. Don't want that big old bag to pop out.
Backseat, baby.
Put that booties in the backseat.
Backseat, baby.
Have action kids you never meet. I'm here to remind you to put them behind you.
Backseat, baby.
Wow! Look at here.
Backseat, baby.
You stay alive even when I drive.
Chemistry class led me to a life of crime. I catch murderers, rapists, and thieves with a microscope. Help your daughter become a scientist. Instead of a tea set, get her a chemistry set. Look at the boring job I got from being a science nerd. Expect the best from a girl. That's what you'll get.
Welcome back here to the North Penn High School Gymnasium, where tonight the Knights take on Truman Tigers. On the tip-off, Truman controlled. And number 11, Trevor Smith, is at the foul line. Number 40, Andy Wimmer, committing the foul there.
Yeah, Truman got control right off the opening tip-off, went into their offense, and Trevor Smith had a nice drive to the lane to draw the foul against Wimmer. And we might see Truman try, as Smith makes his second free throw. We might see Truman, and here's the press, we might see them try to work the fouls on Wimmer. He's the big man. He's going to have an advantage under the basket. We're going to see Truman try to work him.
Quick steal there by Truman. Hoover getting the steal, gives it off to Frazier.
And Sean Frazier was actually Truman's quarterback in the football season, too, so a good athlete is Sean Frazier.
Kinzel controlling the ball now for Truman. Gives it over to Frazier. The top of the key, drives in, brings it back out. Still holding. Drives it in the lane. Pass broken up by number 22, Jowder. Will bring it up the floor for the Knights.
And there you see Brian, North Penn, right off the turnover, gets across midcourt, so Truman can't fit into their press. They're into a 3-2 defense playing zone right now on North Penn.
Jowder now controlling for the Knights. In the corner, it's number 42, Hughes. Borneman now at the top of the key, holding for the Knights. Gives it off to Jowder. Over the corner to Kucklick, back to Jowder. Calling the shots. Jowder holding the ball. Gives it in the corner. Looks like Hughes driving the baseline. Gets the foul and doesn't go in. He'll step to the line for 2.
Hughes doing a good job to work the baseline drive. You'll see North Penn work the perimeter, and if they don't go for the 3, you'll see a lot of baseline drives out of Justin Hughes, and when Jay Joseph comes in, I'm sure you'll see him take some of those shots as well.
Hughes will make his first.
Free throw is definitely an important part of this game for North Penn, especially in the early going. If they can establish their shots from the line, Truman is not going to be as eager to foul North Penn as they drive the lane. Easy points for Hughes off the line right there.
6:30 here in the first quarter of play. North Penn up 2-1. Fast break. Frazier driving baseline now inside. Passes over to Arrigo, who bangs it off the glass for 2.
I'll tell you what, Brian. Frazier got away with a very blatant walk right there. He shuffled his feet. Officials did not call it. Fergus beside himself on the bench.
Hughes now holding, takes the 3. Count it. North Penn now up 5-3.
Justin Hughes coming into this game averaging 15 points per game, shooting a great 51% from the floor, and he has really found his touch from beyond the arc so far this season.
Kinsel bringing it up the floor for the Tigers. Over to Smith. Smith will hold and let his Tigers set up. Now he drives. Back out to Frazier. Over to Arrigo. Kinsel now driving. Stops, pops. No good off the rim of the glass. Goes out off the Tigers. North Penn's ball.
You'll see North Penn, Brian, they're playing a man defense, and I'm surprised Truman didn't react to that. They're not working picks. They were just kind of shuffling the ball around the court. Had nowhere to go. Here's the press from Truman.
Hughes bringing the ball up for the Knights. A little spin. Back over to number 22, Mike Jowder.
Good job breaking the press right there by North Penn.
Hughes for 3, no good off the rim. Brought down by Kuklik there. Gets the foul. He'll step to the line.
Foul goes against Arrigo. That's his first and the team's second. We'll see if Kuklik can convert here from the line.
Early substitution here for Truman. Scheduled to come into the game. Ratcliffe waiting to come in. Now will enter.
Here's that deep bench for Truman we were talking about before, as Ratcliffe does come into the game, and that will be the first of probably close to 1 million substitutions by Truman tonight.
Arrigo takes the seat as Ratcliffe came in. Klug 2 for 2.
Yeah, Clay Kuklik also a football player for North Penn. A couple football players on the roster for North Penn. Kuklik gets the most playing time out of them.
Frazier taking it all the way off the glass.
Great drive by Frazier, showing a lot of his speed. Here's North Penn countering the press.
Jowder stops from the foul line, puts it down for 2. Score is 9-5. 5 minutes left here in the first quarter.
Mike Jowder, great story of him. He started last year. He spent the whole time on the JV roster as North Penn gets the ball right here. Jowder, the North Penn was really deep at the guard position last year, but he came up this year. He's a captain of this team. He has a great year to shine, and he's done that so far for North Penn as North Penn leads 9-5 here. A great job by Jowder so far this year.
Borneman controlling for the Knights, gives it off to Jowder. Over in the corner to Hughes. Will put it up for 3. No good off the front rim. That was number 42. Excuse me, that was Hughes who brought down the rebound. Who took the shot was Kuklik.
Hughes with 7 points already in the early going, counting for more than half of North Penn's offense.
Frazier gives it off to Smith. Smith calling the shots, controlling the ball for Truman. Ratcliffe gives it off to Kensel in the corner. Hard defense there. That looks like Hughes on the floor.
Great play by Hughes to get the ball on the floor. Borneman scrambled for it, and Truman gets called for the foul. It's going to go against Hoover, his first, team's third. And the much-anticipated entrance of Jay Joseph into the game, replacing Clay Kuklik. So after sitting for the first half of the first quarter, Jay Joseph's going to come in and try to set things up. He's going to plant himself right under the basket right away for North Penn.
Jowder controlling the ball for the Knights. Gives it all the way across. The Borneman takes the shot, no good. Tip. Jowder now brings it back down. Outside to Hughes for 3. Count it.
Hughes has become automatic from three-point range. It's incredible. It seems anytime he hits that spot, kind of halfway between the top of the key and the baseline, he just hits nothing but net. Truman's going to take a timeout to stop the bleeding here.
14-5 in favor of the Knights. 3:38 left here in the first quarter.
10 points already for Justin Hughes.
Justin Hughes playing a great game so far. Good defense down here in North Penn's end in the corner. Stealing the ball away. Getting, I guess it was the foul, it was called a jump ball. And coming back to the other end, shooting a three-pointer.
Yeah, North Penn doing a great job of breaking the press early on. In the first possession that they had coming across midcourt, there was a bit of a turnover, but it wasn't until they actually got deep into Truman territory. And you know, Fergus told me before the game, not necessarily they're going to just break the press. They want to score off the press. If Truman has 3 guys deep in the North Penn zone and they break the press, they're obviously going to have almost a 5-on-2 down low against Truman, and they're going to try to take advantage of that as soon as possible. And they're already up to a 9-point lead here, so the press kind of backfiring for Truman.
Looks like number 41 for Truman, Rob Hoover, complaining of some numbness down his left side. He got hit in that exchange at North Penn's end.
Yeah, he's probably more upset that he got called for the foul, and he's the guy on the bench with the injury right now. It's kind of unfortunate for him. Rodney Benton is going to check into the game, number 54, to replace him.
Smith brings the ball up for the Tigers. Guarded by Johnson. Ratcliffe in the corner to Kensel. Kensel bringing it up. Gives it into Frazier. Frazier brings it back out. Driving in the lane. Nice little no-look pass. The Benton can't put it up, but Ratcliffe there to get it in.
So Jay Joseph got a hand on that first shot and knocked it down. So already making his presence known under the basket.
Joseph controlling inside the Wimmer off the glass.
What a great dish by Joseph. That was a great pass. Right on the money to Wimmer. Beautiful pass and a great job by Wimmer to finish.
Smith will bring it up for the Tigers. Trips a little bit. Johnson covering him. Taking Benton inside off the glass. Count that for 2. 16-9 in favor of North Penn. 2:39 left in the first quarter. Wimmer in the corner gives it away to Frazier. Driving baseline. Can't get it up. Wimmer will bring down the rebound. The foul will get called on Truman. Excuse me. Wimmer getting called for the charge there.
And you're going to see Coach Fergus go quickly to the bench with 2 fouls early on Wimmer. Evan Fitzpatrick, a 6'4 senior, is going to check into the game for North Penn.
Kensel inbound for the Tigers. Goes all the way out here to Frazier. Benton stops on the foul line, shoots. Count it. 16-11 in favor of North Penn. 2:20 left in the first quarter. Here comes Joseph bringing it up. Stops, pops. Won't get the roll in. Out of bounds off of North Penn. Truman inbound.
Benton just into the game is 2 for 2. A perfect shooting from the floor. He has 4 points, the leading scorer for Truman.
Joseph picks up the loose ball. Drives it back up. Great dish to Chowder. Off the glass, count it. Chowder's hurt a little bit.
Yeah, he is really in pain. He hit the floor hard there. That foul's going to go against Eric Kinsel. And if Chowder's all right, he's going to. It looked like it landed on his rear end there, and that really hurts on a hardwood floor.
They'll stay in the game and go to the line. Try to complete the 3-point play.
I'll tell you what, Brian. You look at Jay Joseph coming down the floor. He crossed midcourt. He's got his head on a swivel, looking left and right, left and right. Who am I going to pass this ball to? Found a cutting Mike Jowder underneath the basket. And only a junior, Jay Joseph's got another year left here at North Penn. He's going to be something special next year. He's already shown he's a three-dimensional player. He can pass, he can shoot, and he can rebound the ball.
That's twice tonight. Joseph has dished it off to the cutting players. Wimmer on his first time, and Jowder here on the second. He missed. Jowder from the line misses. Smith will bring it up. Over to Frazier. Looking around. Back door. Passing to Kensel. He'll stop. Blocked by Joseph. They battle under the net. Foul called on North Penn.
Well, you saw what they did there, Brian. They came out to double down on Frazier, and Frazier smartly dished the ball off to Kinsel, who was wide open and had a free path to the basket.
Ratcliffe will go to the line for 2. Easily makes the first.
Both teams shooting well from the free throw line tonight. Truman now 3 of 4 after those free throws. North Penn 4 of 5 from the line. So both teams making the other team pay for fouling.
Hughes inbound to the Jowder, and Hughes will bring it up the floor off to Joseph. Smartly brings it back out. Gives it off the Jowder. Jowder in the corner to Hughes. Inside to Fitzpatrick. Hold call called on Truman, number 54. Excuse me, number 10, Sean Frazier. I believe that'll be his first foul.
Yeah, that actually went against Trevor Smith, number 11. That's his first. And North Penn already drawing a lot of fouls. Truman only has one more foul to give.
Hughes rushed that shot, but Johnson will save it. Hughes gives it back out to Jowder. Johnson from three-point range. No good off the rim. Benton brings down the rebound, gives it off to Frazier. Now Smith will bring it up for the Tigers. Long throw, broken up somewhat by Joseph. And Benton drives baseline. Count it. 18-15, just about 1 minute left here in the first quarter. Jowder brings it up. Joseph going strong to the hole. That'll be his first basket of the night. 20-15, under a minute to play in the first quarter.
You're not going to stop Joseph once he gets that clear path to the lane, and an easy layup for Jay. Just one Truman player there preventing him from dunking, which I'm sure we might see him do by the end of the night.
Joseph making it look so easy on the breakaway. Laying it in for the Knights. There it goes. That was Smith driving baseline, banging it off the glass. Fitzpatrick to Joseph. He'll bring it up. 3. Jowder off the glass. Another great look there by Joseph. And he's going to break it up on the defensive play. And Jowder picks up the loose ball. Just about 15 seconds left in the first quarter. 22-17, North Penn.
It's incredible what a little vacation will do for your basketball game. Going to hold for last shot here. It's going to be Joseph.
He's taking a look. All the way over to Jowder. Puts it up. No, off the rim. 22-17, end of the first quarter action here at North Penn Gymnasium.
Well, Rodney Benton was 3 for 3 from the floor for Truman. He's their leading scorer with 6 points. Justin Hughes knocked home 10 points, but did not score in the last part of that quarter. Missed a couple three-pointers as well. Mike Jowder, 3 for 4 from the line. That last three-pointer was his first miss. He has 6 points, 4 of which are nicely gift-wrapped presents from Jay Joseph, who has really shown that he's been the complete player tonight. Joseph only 1 of 2 from the floor for 4 points, but we've seen him dish the ball extremely well, coming down the lane. And of course, Truman's defense is going to gravitate to wherever Jay Joseph is going to be with the basketball. So if you get, obviously, a double team on a player, there's got to be somebody open, and Jay Joseph has found that open guy for North Penn tonight.
Jay Joseph, a great second half of that first quarter, being both the passer, the shooter, and the defensive player.
Yeah, a couple block shots, got a couple breakups of passes, and he's been playing like a man possessed tonight. He's really, like I said, a vacation might just do your basketball game a little good.
Or he just got a little ear music from the coach about his little vacation.
Yeah, that's true. But Graham Stiles is now in the game for North Penn to replace Jay Joseph, getting probably a much-deserved rest on the bench after that very intense 4 minutes of basketball we saw out of him.
Jowder showing his toughness staying in here after taking that hard fall in the first quarter. Johnson controlling. Over to Stiles. Taken away by Frazier. Oh, blocked right from behind by number 24, Stiles. What a great play. Hughes looked at the 3. We'll take it. Gives it over to Jowder. Johnson in the corner. No good. Smith brought down the rebound. Bumps into Johnson. Now driving lane. Foul called on North Penn.
Brian, I was just about to comment on how Graham Stiles is 2 inches shorter than Jay Joseph, and that might be a problem for North Penn as he had that pass deflected, but put my foot in my mouth as he comes back and blocks that shot. Good job to get up.
Foul by number 22, Mike Jowder. That'll be his first of the evening. Great no-look pass inside to Benton. We'll bring it back out to Smith. Over in the corner to Kensel. Stop for 3. And he puts it away. 22-20. 7:10 left in the second quarter.
Truman breaking away from the press as the coaches might have made an adjustment in between the quarter, noticing that the press wasn't exactly working. The lead is now cut to 2, however, and the Tigers are right back in this game. Big 3 by Kinsel to get him back.
Kinsel knocks the ball out of bounds. Johnson gives it over to Jowder. Now to Stiles, back to Jowder. Johnson in the corner, driving baseline. Inside to Fitzpatrick. Off the rim, no good. Fight for the ball. Jump ball, possession now goes to Truman.
Evan Fitzpatrick with that turnaround shot in the lane, the left-hander. That's a tough shot to make. It looked like he kind of let go of the ball a little earlier than he wanted to, trying to force it up, possibly draw a foul. But missed the shot, and Truman does come away with it.
Kuklik. Oh, we got a timeout called.
Yeah, it's a 20 by Coach Fergus. He just had a bit of a confusion as to who he wanted to take out of the game and who he wanted to keep in. And he's going to talk over maybe a little bit of strategy here. Jay Joseph is back into the game for North Penn. But a big series right now for Truman. They can tie the game or take the lead if they get a big basket here. And with a lot of time left in this first half, anything can happen. And North Penn has to buckle down on defense. What they've been doing has been working by and large. They've been playing a man defense, allowing Truman to make the passes but not get any penetration. North Penn's defense has to stand here. They're going to come up and put some full court pressure on Truman right away, though. I'm kind of surprised by this.
If you just joined us, 6:49 left in the half, 22-20 in favor of North Penn. Kuklik is guarding Kinsel, gave the ball off to Smith. Shoots it no good. Joseph down with the rebound. Nice behind the back dribble. Loses control of it. Fights for it on the ground. Jump ball called. Possession arrow goes to North Penn.
Truman players are fighting a losing battle if they're trying to out-jump Jay Joseph for a rebound, because it isn't happening. 6'4" is Joseph, and he's probably got the best vertical on the team. Here's a quick 3.
Jowder inbound to the band and bound to the ball to Johnson, who stopped for that quick 3. Inside to Fitzpatrick, back out to Joseph. Fights his way out. Pass broken up. Will be a foul call on him. I was watching the pregame warm-up during the halftime of the JV game. Varsity players were just shooting around. And it was so easy how Joseph was just knocking down the threes from outside.
Yeah, he really has a beautiful form in his shot. You know, gets the great wrist snap, and you want to see the wrist snap right to the basket. And coaches stress that all the time in practice. And just a good form by Joseph. What can you say?
Joseph brings down another rebound. Now Jowder. That was Borneman throwing it off the glass. No good. Frazier to the other end. No good. Brought down by Jowder. People go to the ground. Jowder will bring it up off the number 21, Borneman taking the shot from the foul line. No good. That's Kuklik fighting around with the ball.
Truman coach is really upset at Sean Frazier. I'm not sure if it's Sean Frazier or the official, because Frazier took his good old time getting back into the defensive side of the court for Truman, and North Penn had almost a power play 5-on-4 there for a couple seconds.
Hughes comes in for North Penn as Joseph took a seat. Kinsel brings the ball up, guarded by Hughes. He gives it off to Smith. He'll bring it up, brings it across half court. Fighting with Borneman. That's Benton driving baseline. 24-22, 5 minutes left here in the half. Fitzpatrick gives it back to Hughes. Truman back into the press. Stolen by Frazier out the Ratcliffe. Gives it back over to Frazier. Frazier looks at the 3. All the way over to Kinsel. Back to Smith. Inside to Ratcliffe. Benton looks at it, doesn't take it. Same with Frazier. Driving baseline. Gives the pass to Kinsel. Kinsel puts it up. Off the rim, no good. Brought down by Fitzpatrick. And Borneman will bring it up for the Knights.
Good pull by Fitzpatrick, getting up over the Truman attackers and just ripping that down.
Hughes for 3, no good. Hits the back. Actually, the wire on the basket.
Yeah, that caught the wire, and that's obviously going to be a dead ball. Automatically goes to Truman.
Kinsel inbound And gives it over to Smith.
Justin Hughes is now 2 of 5 from three-point range and has 12 points total on the game.
Smith controlling the ball here for the Tigers, trying to slow the pace down a little bit. 4 minutes left in the half, 24-22, North Penn. Frazier off to Kinsel. Kinsel looking around. Benton now controlling. Pass broken up by Chowder. Great play there. All over the place. Who's going to follow to pick up the bouncing ball? Frazier, baseline, off the glass. Count that for 2. 24-24. 3:40 left in the half. Fitzpatrick back to Hughes. Hughes to Chowder. He'll bring it across midcourt and give it up to Borneman.
It was a good job by Frazier on that last layup as Borneman makes the three-pointer. It's a good job by Frazier to do a double pump there because Fitzpatrick was bringing the swat in on him, and he just managed to get it beyond his block and put it in.
27-24 with that 3 by Borneman.
Big basket.
Frazier now controlling. Over to Kinsel, almost broken up by Hughes. Kinsel stops, no good. And Hughes will bring down that rebound. Foul called on number 11, Trevor Smith.
It's going to be the second on Smith. He's in a bit of foul trouble. We'll see if the coach goes to the bench. Well, they're just going to call timeout. Maybe they'll pick up a substitution after that. Big three-pointer by Ross Borneman, though. You gotta hand it to him. Coming back after Truman came back to tie, coming down and hitting a 3 like that, that's a big momentum builder.
Alan Osborne looking to check in for the Tigers. 3:03 left here in the half, 27-24. North Penn leading. Great game so far. Just what we expected at the beginning of the half.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we saw the game has kind of slowed down just a little bit. Still's got an up-tempo feel to it, but we've seen more of the perimeter shooting, and hand it to North Penn's defense for that. We've seen them break, or bend but not break. When Truman drives to the lane, the man defense will kind of box in and not let them drive to the basket, but Truman has done a good job of working the ball around and making North Penn keep their head constantly on a swivel and trying to look for that pass. Big crowd tonight, too. A lot of kids back from college, yourself included, I might add.
Myself included, coming back. Asked to do this game. I said, sure, why not? Couldn't pass the opportunity by. We also have, I saw Wallace was back here. A couple of the other North Penn alumni in the stands this evening as Chowder brings the ball back up for North Penn.
Mike McKenna was asking for a little airtime. Hey, we said your name, Mike, but you're not going to do any announcing. Sorry.
Borneman now controlling for the Knights. Over to number 23, that's Kucklick. Kucklick off to Chowder. Chowder holding. To Hughes in the corner. Back out to Chowder. Hughes. Chowder playing a little catch inside to Fitzpatrick. Out to Borneman, looks at that 3, doesn't take it. Hughes will drive baseline now. He brings it back in the middle off the glass. Count that for 2.
Good basket by Hughes. Tough drive to the lane. And you'll see North Penn when they worked a high post offense right there, bringing Fitzpatrick out to the foul line, working him as almost the pivot man on the offense. They'll work it into him, and he'll change direction with the ball. And against his own defense, that's very effective.
2:10 left here in the half, 29-24. North Penn leading. Frazier now controlling for the Tigers. Looking to the coach getting the side, telling him to calm it down. Kinsel gives it back to Frazier. That's Osborne controlling. Osborne back to Frazier. They play catch. Frazier now has it. Driving. Great save there by Benton, but his footsteps on the line. North Penn ball.
Justin Hughes got lucky there. He was content to watch that ball go out of bounds. Fortunately for him, the Truman player stepped on the baseline. You know, Coach Fergus likes to see guys go for the ball going out of bounds. You don't like to see him watch the ball go over the end line. He kind of caught a break there.
Jared Flamer enters the game as Fitzpatrick takes his seat. Hughes looking at the 3, will take it. Swishes it down.
You better get the hose because this man is on fire. This is unbelievable. Justin Hughes shooting the lights out tonight. Just an incredible game by the junior guard, stepping up, knowing that Jay Joseph isn't in the game for the most part, and he's done a great job.
1 minute left here in the quarter, in the half. 32-24, North Penn. Number 23, Kuklik, gets called for the foul. As number 34, Matt Casey answers as Jatter will take a seat. Truman inbounds to Frazier. Frazier driving, dishes it off to Benton. Foul on North Penn, 41. That's Flamer getting called with the foul.
North Penn's now over the limit, so we're going to see Truman shoot 1-1. And North Penn on an 8-0 run right now. It was 24-24, and then Borneman hit that three, and the ball started to roll for North Penn, up by 8 right now. Truman trying to get back probably within 4 or 3 points before this half gets over.
Frazier steps to the line for the 1-1. He'll take another one. 57 seconds left here in the half. If you're just joining us, 32-25 in favor of North Penn. Frazier gets set for a second on the 1-1. And that one bounces out. North Penn players fighting over the ball on the rebound. I guess they just won that extra stat, whoever brought that one down.
Clay Kuklik really trying to get some more rebounds on his stat sheet before the end of the year, so chalk another one up for Clay.
Borneman gives it off to Casey. Casey into the corner to Hughes. Looks like North Penn might hold for the final shot.
I don't know, 35 seconds is an awful long time. We might see a three-pointer possibly. They're still working the perimeter. Flamer, the only guy inside the three-point arc for North Penn. Here's a turnover.
Frazier slipped on the ground and then stole the ball from Casey. Osborne controlling for Truman. Now they'll wait for the last shot.
That's the sure bet right there.
Ratcliffe from the foul line gets partially blocked by Casey, but they're going to call him on the foul.
Tough call against Casey. He thought he had all the leather right there, but gets called for the hack. This will be 2 shots for Truman. Ratcliffe already 2 for 2 from the line. He'll have 2 more right now. It'll be interesting to see what Truman does after this free throw, if they keep the press, especially if he makes the shot, or if they fall back into defense.
Looks like Truman will keep the press. Hughes gets it in to Borneman. Hughes will bring it up. Gives it off to Casey. Stops. He shoots. No good off the rim. And that'll end the half. As North Penn will take the lead to the locker room, 32-27 here at the end of the first half.
Good half by North Penn. You know, they came out, and a key point in that game was when it was 24-24 after Truman had just come down and tied the ball game. Ross Borneman comes back, makes a big three-pointer, and North Penn went on an 8-0 run. Truman closed the half with a couple points, and they close it to within striking distance at 5 points. It's going to be a great second half.
Hughes having a great game tonight. Already piling up the numbers with a couple of threes.
Yeah, 17 points already. He's 3 for 6 from three-point range, shooting his usual 50% clip. And I'll tell you what, he's just had an outstanding game, stepping up for Jay Joseph being out of the lineup. And looks like we got 9 minutes, 40 seconds to come back before the half starts, so we're probably going to take it to break. Go ahead, Brian.
All right, we'll be back here on North Penn Television with the second half.
That many fires started because kids played with matches and lighters?
It's really sad. The fire started with matches and lighters for thousands of people last year.
Like parents and grandparents?
And brothers and sisters. If you ever see matches or lighters, don't touch them.
Uh-oh! Somebody left out matches and a lighter.
Remember,
Wow!
keep your eyes open, and if you see these, tell a grown-up right away. But never touch them, and you'll be a real superhero.
Like a deputy fire marshal?
Exactly.
Don't touch matches or lighters. Tell a grown-up instead. Be cool about fire safety. Be cool.
You don't have to like me. Or you can. You don't have to be my friend.
But you might like me if you got to know me.
You don't have to be my roommate.
I am gonna be your neighbor. You don't have to run with me.
You really don't have to run away from me.
You may not like what I have to say.
But hear me.
Hear me out.
Man, we're not all that different. I like good food.
Good music.
I love my mom. I want to fall in love.
Madly. I want a good job.
I want my kids to live in a world
where they are safe and loved
and respected for who they are.
You don't have to like me, but if you talk to me,
You might.
we can end prejudice if we talk to each other. Call.
Tell us what you do.
Together we can build one America.
We know we can count on you to do what Smoky says. Don't play with matches, that's not cool.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Next trip to the store, look for products made from recycled materials. Then buy them.
Call 1-800-CALL-EDF for your free Buy Recycled shopping guide.
Back here at North Penn High School, where we got the Truman Tigers taking on the North Penn Knights. Chowder brings it up. Across to Kucklick, back to Borman, over to Chowder. He drives, no good. Flamer brings down the rebound off the glass, can't get it to roll in. Hughes brought down that rebound. Jump ball called. Possession now we're pointing to North Penn. 32-27 with 6:55 left here in the third quarter.
Justin Hughes, 6 of 9 from the floor, 2 for 2 from the line for 17 points, the game-high scorer by a wide margin. Rodney Benton was a perfect 4 of 4 from the floor for Truman, 8 points. He's the Tigers' leading scorer.
Hughes for 2 there, can't get it to drop. Frazier brings it back up, lays it in for the easy 2. 32-29 in favor of North Penn.
Truman trying to set the tempo in the early half of this game, in the early part of this half, I should say. Getting a quick basket on the drive by Frazier. We might see the Tigers pick up the pace in this game and try to wear North Penn down. Try to cut into that lead.
Borneman controlling for the Knights, gives it off to Hughes. Hughes gets the pick from Flamer. Chowder now controlling over to Hughes in the corner inside the Flamer. He looks around, gets double teamed. Trying to get the ball ripped out of his hands. But he'll sink for 2 as the Truman coaches calling for the walk there.
Yeah, it looked like he might have changed his pivot foot under the basket or shuffled his feet, but got away with it. Can't take away the fact that North Penn had great ball movement on that possession.
Nice little drive there by Smith. A little bank it up high off the glass. And a foul on Truman, number 53, Dave Arrigo. That'll be his second. Chowder to bring it up for the Knights.
Good series here for North Penn if they can score. They lead by 5 right now. They can get out to a big lead early on here. Truman's going to be hard-pressed to come back against a team like North Penn that plays good defense.
Borneman inside the Flamer. Gets it partially blocked. And it looked like number 23. Kucklick brought down that loose ball, but was fouled. Chowder inbound for the Knights. Gives it off to Hughes. Hughes a little spin. Puts it up. No good off the front of the rim. Flamer with the rebound. Puts it up strong for the 2. 36-29, 5:30 left here in the third quarter.
Good job by Flamer to get the putback there. A wild shot by Justin Hughes. But Flamer has scored all of North Penn's 4 points here in the second half. He's already had 5 shots, 2 of 5. And he's playing a good game underneath the basket.
Ratcliffe looking to check in for Truman.
Chowder got called for the push under the basket, knocking the Truman player out of bounds, and that's going to be his second foul.
David Arrigo will take a seat as Ratcliffe came in. Smith now controlling for Truman. Frazier calling for it, gets it now. Looks, gives it back to Smith. Smith inside to Ratcliffe, back outside. Frazier looks at it, drives in, gives off in the corner. That was Kinsel.
Smith now controlling for the Tigers. Frazier gets called for the travel.
That's a good call by the official right on top of that one. Frazier shuffled his feet before he went. You see that a lot in high school. Fundamental mistake, and those are going to catch up with you.
Chowder now controlling for North Penn, gives it off to Borneman. Borneman to Chowder. In the corner, that's Kuklik. Taking it 3. Hughes with a strong rebound, gets denied by number 41. Rob Hoover there, who came back, was complaining of a little numbness in his left arm after taking that hard fall in the first quarter.
Yeah, it looks like Hughes might have a little numbness in his ear after that one. Hoover gave him a mouthful after blocking that shot, got right in his face. Flamer's going to check out, getting a much-deserved round of applause from the crowd here at North Penn.
Andy Weimer steps on in for the Knights. The ball goes out of bounds. They say off of a North Penn player. Will stay. Truman ball. Joseph comes in. As number 23, Kuklik, takes a seat. The few times Joseph's been in tonight has been when North Penn has been playing their best ball.
That's true. And you know, he hasn't necessarily, I mean, he only has 2 points. Hasn't necessarily been the shining star on the team, but just his presence in there makes such a difference for North Penn. He is the complete player. He'll throw the ball all over the place, but always to the right person. It's amazing. It seems like he's got eyes in the back of his head out there.
North Penn set up in their zone defense.
Yeah, they switched to his zone, almost an alley-oop there. That was crazy.
Jowder brings the ball up for the Knights. Gives it off to Borman. Looks at the 3, doesn't take it. Jordan, Jowder, now controlling into the corner. Hughes double team, back out to Jowder. All the way across the Borman, looks at the 3, takes it, and counts it.
Oh, baby!
Along with the foul.
Oh, man.
Frazier getting called for the foul.
That's a cardinal sin on defense right there. You never foul a man taking a 3-pointer. You never want to give up the chance of a 4-point play, and Borneman's got the chance to do that here.
Borneman makes the 4-point play, 40-29, 3:25 left in the third quarter.
Borneman coming up with the big baskets from 3-point range. He's only made 2 shots tonight. They've both been crucial threes, and now North Penn has their biggest lead of the game at 11 points.
Kensel took the shot, no good. Goes out of bounds off of Truman. Used inbounds for the Knights.
You can really feel North Penn picking up a wave of momentum here, and there was that big play by Borneman. It mirrors the one he had in the second quarter, giving North Penn a lead, and now just extending the lead for North Penn. Things are really starting to fall into place for the Knights. But turnovers like that by Hughes are going to come back to haunt you if Truman can get the ball back and start scoring points off of those turnovers.
Truman still playing their strong pressing defense to create that turnover, and Smith will bring it up the floor. Hoover in the corner, gives it back out to Smith. Over to Kinsel. Kinsel to Smith. Top of the key, will hold. Looks around. Hoover over the corner to Frazier. Frazier back to Hoover. Smith now controlling for the Tigers. Gives it over to Kinsel. Frazier now holding.
North Penn switching back to a man-to-man defense.
Wimmer picks off the pass intended for Kinsel, and Chowder will bring the ball back up the floor. Joseph going strong to the hole. No good. Wimmer will commit his 3rd foul of the night. Truman, Kinsel to inbounds.
We might see Evan Fitzpatrick come back into the game as Wimmer has 3 fouls now with just a little bit over 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Might see Fitzpatrick come back in, we're not sure.
I was talking to Wimmer before the game. I used to play volleyball with him back during my high school days. He didn't start playing basketball until his 9th grade year. And now look at him, 3 years later, he's on the varsity team.
Yeah, Coach Fergus is really impressed by the performance 3-pointer there by Frazier. Really impressed by Wimmer's performance this year. Coming into the season, he's 6'5", a A lot of height. You always want to work at center at 6'5". That's a great size to have at center. And he's really molded himself into a good center as he's been posting up throughout the game. Had 2 points in the first half on only 1 shot. He has 3 fouls, though. He's got to watch it.
Hughes for 3. Nice stroke there as he puts it down. 43-32. 1:20 left here in the third quarter.
That's 20 points now for Justin Hughes. Just an incredible performance.
Heike Johnson looking to enter the game for the Knights. Number 32, Joseph gets called for the block. Borman will take a seat as Johnson comes in. Kinsel to inbound for Truman. And Stiles will enter the game as Joseph will take a seat.
Once again, there you see the limited playing time for Jay Joseph. But still, you can't take it away from him. He's made the most of the time that he's gotten in this game.
Smith now controlling for the Tigers. Over to Frazier. Looks at it. Again. Takes it baseline. Ratcliffe with the jumper. Count that one, 43-34. Just under a minute to play here in the third quarter.
Ratcliffe now a perfect 2 of 2 from the field and a perfect 4 of 4 from the line. Has 8 points for the Tigers.
Hughes in the corner inside the Wimmer. Stops. He pulls up off the rim. Johnson brings down the rebound.
Great fight by Heike right there, pulling that rebound. This is huge if it goes.
Jowder brings down that loose ball. Inside the Heike, off the glass, no good. Wimmer with the rebound, no good. Hughes brings it down and puts it back off the glass. North Penn just dominating inside the paint tonight. 3 rebounds there right in a row.
Uncontested by and large. I mean, Heike Johnson fighting that ball away. Justin Hughes picking it up. Wimmer getting the rebound and the putback and missing it. And once again, you know, they get the finish. Just a great job by North Penn to pursue that ball and put it in the hole.
Hoover took the shot, no good. Johnson with the rebound. Long pass up to Wimmer. Stops, takes the shot. Calling for the walk. He brings down his own rebound. Off the glass.
Oh, baby.
Count it.
You gotta love that from Wimmer. You just can't believe this. I mean, Wimmer comes down, recognized that there was not much time left on the clock, puts up a shot, and gets his own rebound back, puts it in at the buzzer. A 13-point lead for North Penn coming out of the blocks in the third quarter, and they are taking over this game. It's going to take something pretty crazy from Truman to come back in this one.
Truman's head coach giving the evil eye to the ref on that last play, calling for the walk, didn't get it. But that's just about how the game's been going so far for Truman. They haven't been getting the calls they wanted, but you know, that's the breaks of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Wimmer comes down, he's got the ball, he's going real fast down the court, and he comes to a stop almost on a dime. You'll often see the officials, when the player stops to dribble like that, call him for shuffling his feet, but they did not. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back after this with the fourth quarter.
I hang out with a pretty trashy circle, the circle that helps this circle. It starts when we recycle trash at home. It's completed when we buy products made from recycled materials. Check the label for something called post-consumer recycled content. Then buy the highest percentage of it you can find. Complete the circle.
Call 1-800-CALL-EDF for your free Buy Recycled shopping guide. 1-800-CALL-EDF.
I'm the man. It's a birthday.
Exercised lately?
Back here at North Penn High School, as Benton puts up that layup off the glass and gets fouled, he'll go to the line and complete the three-point play.
That's 4 on Wimmer. 4 fouls on Wimmer. But Fergus sticking with his guns and keeping Wimmer in there. A play like that, though, to start the quarter by Benton, getting the basket and the foul. Those three-point plays are big momentum builders, especially if he can convert this free throw here.
This is Wimmer's junior year of high school. Kind of look as, well, actually, he'll take a seat right now. But the experience he's needed, he's only started in 9th grade. That's where the experience counts in these situations. Knowing when to make the foul and when not to make the foul. So.
Yeah, he's going to be good next year, that's for sure. He's gotten a lot of quality playing time this year. And there's some big centers out there, especially when you play the Norris Towns and all the other teams with big centers, they're traditionally big teams. He's going to get a lot stronger. He's probably going to hit the weights in the offseason. And a little volleyball can't help, huh, Brad?
A little volleyball can. As he's going to be, I guess, middle hitter for the Knights this year, as I was talking with him earlier. Frazier now holding for the Truman Tigers. Driving in the lane, puts it off the glass, no good. Brings his own rebound down, and he'll get fouled by Johnson.
It was a great drive by Frazier. Did everything but put the ball in the basket. Johnson's going to get called for his first foul. And North Penn has to watch it. That's 5 team fouls now. They only have one more to give. You don't want to be throwing away points to Truman at the free throw line. They've done a good job of hitting their free throws tonight.
10-point lead for Truman, 47-37. As it makes it 47-38 now. 6:54 left in the game.
Truman now a collective 8 of 10 from the free throw line. Shooting 80%. They've been making them count.
Frazier makes both of his. As Hughes will inbound for the Knights. Jowder off the Stiles. Stiles goes into the corner. Back out to Jowder. Back to Stiles. They play catch. Hughes in the corner. Gets double team out to Jowder.
There's
Stiles
the open man.
for 3, no good. Hughes brought down that rebound. Just piling up the stats tonight for Hughes. As a jump ball is called, going in favor of the Knights.
There you see the double team, Brian. Somebody's got to be open. That man was Graham Stiles, just a bit short on that three-pointer. But we'll see if North Penn can continue to fight this double teaming in the corner.
Long pass out to Johnson. Stiles from the corner for 3. No good, off the rim again. Smith will drive it up over to Benton. Loses control of the ball and goes out of bounds off of North Penn.
On that last sequence, Graham Stiles was in the corner, wide open for the 3. He probably had it in his mind before he caught the ball that he wanted to take the 3, but probably could have taken a couple more steps toward the basket and still would have been just as open and had an easier shot from the baseline. So a quick decision by Stiles might have backfired there for North Penn.
Smith now controlling for the Tigers. Inside to Ratcliffe, puts it up, no good. Tipped out by Hughes. And Jowder will bring down that rebound. Stiles now controlling. Over to Johnson, driving baseline, back out to Stiles. Over to Jowder, into the corner to Hughes. He'll put up the 3.
This is huge. Oh, baby.
50-39 in favor of North Penn. 5:50 left here in the game. Smith will bring it up for the Tigers. Timeout called here by Truman. Calling a 20-second timeout.
This is Justin Hughes' world. We're just paying rent. This is unbelievable. Coming out here, he's made 2 3-pointers on 2 attempts in the second half. Add another 2 points in the half. He's got 8 points in this half, 25 overall. That's half of North Penn's offense.
Justin Hughes just putting up great numbers tonight. Hitting the boards, getting the rebounds, and just hitting them when he needs to.
And we're probably going to see Jay Joseph come back into the game to finish out this game for North Penn. 5.5, just a little over 5.5 to go here in the fourth quarter. And Joseph will come back into the game. Truman trailing by 11. It's going to be close.
Johnson, Jowder, Hughes, Joseph, and Fitzpatrick to take the floor for the Knights with Smith, Frazier, Benton, Ratcliffe, and Kinsel for the Tigers. Benton controlling. Over to Frazier. Kinsel now has it inside to Ratcliffe. We'll get the foul.
That's the last foul North Penn has to give. That's the first on Fitzpatrick. But for the rest of the ball game, Truman will be at least shooting a 1-and-1 on every North Penn foul.
Long pass out to Frazier. Gives a little fake pass there, but loses control of the ball. Benton picks it up off the glass, count that for 2. 50-41 in favor of the Knights.
Benton still has not missed a shot. He's now 6 of 6 from the floor.
Joseph driving off the glass. Easy roll in for him. 52-41. 5:15 left in here in the game.
Once Joseph gets rolling to the basket, you better get out of his way because you're probably going to get called for the foul, and he's more than likely going to make that layup. Big play by the junior.
Smith now controlling for the Tigers. Gives it off to Frazier. Frazier looking. Back to Smith. Smith shuffling his people around. Kinsel now controlling in the corner. Loses Johnson. Frazier looks at the 3, doesn't take it. Now pops up for it. No good. Plenty of people went up for that rebound, and Benton came down with it. Didn't make it as Johnson rips it away. Johnson looking around, almost gets it taken away. Ratcliffe on the nice comeback defense. Hughes in the corner. Jowder now controlling over to Johnson. Jowder, Johnson play catch with it. Joseph in the corner. We got a man open. Long pass to Jowder. Looks at the three, doesn't take it. Drives in. Back out to Johnson. Wolf the three.
Dang!
55-41, 4:10 left here in the game. North Penn leading. Frazier will leave it off for Smith. Timeout called by the Tigers.
Man, North Penn has really used those three-pointers as momentum boosts in this game. Once again, another one. You know, North Penn's been hovering around that 11-point mark at the lead, and they've had an 11-point lead ever since about midway through the third quarter, and they're finally breaking out of that. A big three-pointer by Heike Johnson. And you could see it in his eyes. As soon as he got the ball, you knew he was going to shoot that three, and very confidently stepped up and took that shot. Nothing but net.
Rob Huber looking to check back into the game for the Tigers. But in that last little run, when Truman was down here at the right end, Frazier stopping and just giving that little juke like he's going to take the three. He's been doing that all game. I don't know how many points he's got.
Frazier coming in, or as of right now, he has 12 points. He has 7 in this half, 5 in the first half, and he's hit 1 3-pointer, and he's been 3 of 4 from the line. You know, he's put up a couple shots that I would question and second guess. You know, but he has a really quick release. I've noticed that. In that last series, he missed a shot, but it seemed like it took him less than 1/10 of a second to get the ball out. Real quick release for Frazier. That probably comes from his quarterback background. But we're at the halfway point of the fourth quarter, and it's a 14-point lead for North Penn. So we're going to see if Truman comes back, this is going to be a spectacular finish for the Tigers.
3:50 left here in the game. 55-41 North Penn lead.
This is what Truman can't be doing, though. They're spending 30 seconds here just around the perimeter, and that's a killer mistake by Frazier going up and down with the basketball, turning it over, and that's, you know, it doesn't seem like that much, 18 seconds, but that's a big chunk of time in basketball, and Truman just wasted 18 seconds.
Joseph going baseline. Charge and call foul on Joseph.
And that's 4 against JJ. We'll see if Fergus comes to the bench. I think he's going to leave him in.
3:36 left here in the game. Kitzel inbound for the Tigers. Smith now controlling. Gives it off to Frazier. Frazier looks. Doesn't go. Dribbles it over to Kitzel. Kitzel gets it partially blocked by Johnson. And he took off looking for the home run pass.
Truman coach is really looking for a foul there, but it was a clean block by Heike, and he came down with it.
Jowder now controlling for the Knights over to Johnson. Johnson looking. Gives it back over to Jowder. Fitzpatrick out of the top. Over to Johnson. Johnson looking. Jowder over to Hughes in the corner. Johnson went, cut in the lane, but Hughes didn't see him. Jowder now controlling. Jowder gives it to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick back to Jowder. Great blocking. There's Jowder used his body to shield off the player from getting the ball. And he'll take the foul.
It was a great give and go. Using that high post setup for Fitzpatrick, coming out close to the foul line with his back to the basket, posting up. And you'll see North Penn use that as I said before, the pivot point of the offense. Wherever the ball goes to Fitzpatrick, it can go anywhere. He's got 4 people to pass to in 4 different directions and work the give and go with Jowder. He'll get 2 shots here.
Kuklik entering the game in for Joseph as he'll sit with 4 fouls on the night. (56-41), 2:42 left here in the game as Jowder steps to the line for his second.
And those are Jowder's first 2 points of the second half. Kind of a quiet third and fourth quarter for Mike J so far. That's 8 points now for the senior point guard.
Smith now controlling. Looking. Takes the shot. No good off the rim. And Kuklik brings down the rebound and gives it off to Jowder. Jowder brings it across half court over to Johnson. Kuklik looking, gets pushed a little bit. Gives it off to Jowder. Jowder gets the ball taken away from him, but good save there by Jowder, as he didn't get called for. Jowder calls the timeout with 2 minutes left.
So North Penn probably going to work a little bit of the substitutions in now. Coach Fergus talking to his team. Maybe leave them in for a little bit more just to secure this. A 16-point lead with only 2 minutes to go in the ball game is pretty strong. I don't think we're going to see Truman come back in this game, so North Penn probably going to work in a lot of their substitutions and underclassmen to get them some playing time. And, you know, Brian, something that's really surprised me is coming into the game, Coach Fergus had told me that Truman was going to run a deep bench. They only have, looks like 6 or 7 players actually on the score sheet right now. And we were looking at upwards of maybe 10 or 11, a couple more guys coming in for Truman. That might have something to do with it not being as close a game as it could be. But I'm just surprised Truman not running a very deep bench tonight.
Truman's coach calling this a rebuilding year for them, as they have no real hot players, trying to work on their defensive aspects of the game with the press and the zone defense. Just trying to get back in the swing of things. Right now, he was telling me that they got blown out pretty hard in the first couple of games of the season with the press. But now they're working back into it. And they've held North Penn to only 57 points. It's been a good game for all this alumni to return.
Beautiful backdoor play right there to Clay Kuklik. Good pass by Fitzpatrick. Truman's defense just fell asleep right there.
Smith now controlling for the Tigers. Kuklik breaking up that pass. And Jowder using his face to break up that one.
Flamer and Casey now into the game for North Penn.
Jowder and Fitzpatrick will take a seat as they get a nice round of applause from this big crowd here in the gymnasium at North Penn High School.
Yeah, the only 2 seniors in North Penn's lineup are going to take a seat for the rest of this one, as this one's pretty much over and done with. Just 100 seconds, I should say, to go in this one.
Kinsel put up a shot off the side of the net. Johnson brings down that rebound. He'll bring it across half court for the Knights. Casey now controlling. Over to Kuklik. Kuklik to Casey. Looking around, back to Kuklik. Johnson over to Casey. Inside to Kuklik. Great play there. Good eyes by Casey to see Kuklik cutting down the lane. And he'll go to the line as he was fouled on his way to the basket. 11-11 left in here in this game. 59-41 North Penn.
Kuklik at the line. He was 2 for 2 from the line in the first half and added another basket in the third quarter. He has 4 points right now for the Knights.
Palmer and Osborne entering the game for the Tigers as Frazier and Kinsel take a seat. Hughes, Johnson take a seat with a big hand from the crowd. And it looks like, I guess that's the exchange student.
Jan Rechsteiner, the Swiss import, he's in there playing guard for the Knights. And Tim Lanzone also checked into the game. Kuklik, 1 of 2 from the line.
Smith puts up the 3. No good off the rim. Flamer went for that rebound, but didn't get it. As Staton pulled it down. Foul on North Penn. Kuklik getting called for that foul. 60-41. 58 seconds left here in the game. As Hoover steps to the line.
You know, the only thing that could cap off this game for North Penn would be to see Jan Rechsteiner hit a basket for North Penn. This crowd would go absolutely nuts. I mean, we saw this in football season. Bart Mays was a backup place kicker for the Knights. He came in and kicked an extra point for North Penn, And the crowd was just going absolutely crazy. They love to see these kids come to North Penn from all over the world, literally, and make an impact on the sports scene. We'll see if that happens.
Tim Lanzone knocking the ball out of bounds while he was on the floor. Truman inbound. Staton gives a long home run pass, almost broken up by Lanzone. Smith drives the lane off the glass, no good. Picks it back up. Gets called for the traveling. Kuklik the inbound for the Knights. Flamer controlling, back over to Kuklik. He'll drive it up the floor. Lanzone in the corner to Casey. Casey, the Flamer, back out to Lanzone in the corner to the Swiss import. It's Kuklik in the corner getting fouled.
That's going to be Hoover's second foul, and the team is, I think, now over the limit. No, they still have, that was their last foul to give, so they have one more foul until it's the bonus. North Penn will get the inbound here.
Kuklik thinking he was going to the line. And an inbound ball. Casey to inbound it. Gives it to Kuklik. Casey driving baseline, stops, puts it up, no good. Kuklik fighting for that rebound, gets called for the foul.
Kuklik chuckling about that one a little bit. You saw him. He was a bit upset with that call because the ball was right in the hands of Recksteiner, and he was about to put up the shot, I think. He's a little upset about that one. He's going to come out of the game now.
Staton will head to the line.
Kuklik leads the game with 8 points, and he'll spend the rest of this one on the bench.
Stiles comes in to replace him. Off of Truman, out of bounds. Casey will inbound for the Knights. Flamer now controlling, back to Casey. He'll bring it up. Flamer, the baseline. Out to Stiles. Drives in the lane. It's hacked on his way to the basket. And he'll go to the line.
Stiles has yet to make a basket for North Penn so far. He is off the scoreboard currently, but has 2 free throws here, and he's on the board, his first point of the night.
5.9 seconds left in this game. So North Penn putting it away for this last 3 throw. 20-point lead for Knights, 62-42, as Truman will take the last shot, as it's kind of a nothing point. But no ball, as Casey blocked that last shot by Staton. And the Knights take a victory here, 62-42, over the Truman Tigers.
Great performance by North Penn. You got to point to the third quarter in tonight's game. They come in only leading by 5 points at halftime, and they walk away the third quarter with an 11-point lead. A huge 4-point play by Ross Borneman, in my opinion, was the key to this game. And he had a 3-pointer in the first half as well that was a big key. And Borneman finishes the game with 6 points. Or 7 points, I should say. 6 of them coming on 2 3-pointers that were pretty much the difference in this ball game.
As we said at the beginning of the game, we thought Truman would have more players out. They only had about 7 come into the game, except for at the end there, which nobody really scored for them.
Yeah, they had 6 guys on the scoreboard, led by Rodney Benton, who had 13 points, and Sean Frazier, who had 12 points. Also, Mike Ratcliffe had 8 points for Truman, and a couple other guys had 2, 3, and 4 points. For North Penn, story of the game and our player of the game, Justin Hughes, number 42, stepping up big time for North Penn after having Jay Joseph play a limited role tonight for the Knights. 25 points for Justin Hughes, including a plethora of 3-pointers, 5 to be exact, and he was just bombing away from downtown for North Penn.
Yeah, the times that Jay Joseph was in the game, played an instrumental role with his passing, being able to look across the floor as he was dribbling it up and just dishing.
Yeah, 4 points for Jay Joseph, but he had just as many assists, block shots, and any other stat you want to throw in there. He played a good game. He only played probably about 10 minutes of this ball game, but did manage to make the most of his time. Mike Jowder for North Penn had 8 points, and as we said, Borneman had 7 points, and also for North Penn, Kucklick, Joseph, Wimmer, and Flamer all had 4 points. So a lot of guys pitching in for the effort for North Penn, but Justin Hughes ran the show tonight. There's a look at some of our crew guys. Good job up there tonight on camera, guys.
Truman drops to 1-8, and North Penn takes over this 7-4 with the win this evening. 62-42 is the final here from North Penn Gymnasium. For everybody here, I'm Brian Clementes, and for Kyle Berger, you have a good one.